way you turn, I see you doing that.
A lot of the times we always hear the word balance, right? And I've come to the realization that there is gonna be no balance. Like, you're never gonna find complete balance in the world. And so how I like to call it now is I wanna find harmony. Like, I wanna find rhythm. Just how I learned about just how like God is. Like God, he moves in harmony. He moves with a rhythm. And sometimes he moves and sometimes he's still and sometimes he's silent and sometimes he speaks. And so I like my life to look that way now too. Sometimes I'm gonna be moving, but there's gonna be some days where I can't do nothing business related. So it's really listening to what I need internally in that moment. And so if I know in this moment I just need to cater more to my son, that's what it's all about. Everything else can wait. There's time where I know I need a reset for myself. I'm gonna do what I need to do to have that reset for myself. So it's really about finding the harmony in life and finding that rhythm. And you can only find that rhythm by writing it.
Me and Logan live a very structured life, which is crazy because I just had this conversation with somebody. They're like, your life is too structured. But I'm like, the girls that get it. The girls that don't. Okay? Knowing that Logan is going to get home from school at 5, we're gonna have dinner wrapped up by 7:30, he's in the bed, and that means if I need to take a bath, like I have this window of time. When he's with his dad, I know that those are weekends where I can go like and do things that I need to do, but like the nights are like my sacred time. And also trying to figure out ways where I can show Logan how to do self-care. If it's like, okay, mommy needs a moment, like can you go in your room and play or read a book? I try not to do screen time, but honey, the screen save us. Like I'm not that mom that's like screen time is bad for kids. My child has an iPad, and when I need a moment, that iPad comes in handy. I can put his little learning apps on. He can go play his little games. Really trying to get him to understand like sacred time and sacred space for himself, because sometimes he's like, okay, mom, I don't want to hug. I don't want to talk. Like school today was a lot. My friend ate my carrot or whatever, you know, the life of a 3-year-old. And sometimes he gets home and he's like, I just want to sit. Sit, baby, like sit, do your thing. So then when I'm like, okay, mommy just needs to sit, he's like, oh, I get it, because my mommy like gave me time to get myself together. Prioritizing self-care is important because I know he's watching me. And I think like as a black boy who's soon gonna be a black man, I'm surrounded by black men who are like, I'm burned out. I'm 30 and I'm burned out. I want him to grow up and like, even when he's in high school and he's like, I just need some space from y'all. Like this was fun, I don't wanna go to that party. I would rather sit at home and chill by myself. Like as an adult, when he gets married and have kids, if that's what he wants to do, being able to like communicate like, daddy just needs a moment, like go with mommy, or like being able to communicate with his partner, like I just need to go out with the boys or go on a drive. I think that that's like a routine that he has to learn from me. And so trying to be an example. It is hard though, because we are everything to our kids.
So I made this TikTok. It just reminded me of that. And I posted it on Instagram too. And so many people were upset about it. My baby goes to daycare. Carson goes to daycare Monday through Friday, right? So I work hybrid. So 2 days I work from home and the other days I go into work. Those 2 days are my self-care days because I can easily get done with my work early and then I'm out. Like I'm going, you know, to get something to eat by myself, or I may go to get my lashes done. I may do something while my baby is in daycare. So I posted and I said, I hate when people ask me, where's your baby? My baby's at daycare. Why is your baby at daycare and you working from home or you off? I'm like, as high as daycare is, my baby will be there Monday through Friday, every single day. If they had spend the night options, he'd probably be there too sometimes. And people were so upset, like, how could you just push your baby off to daycares? I'm like, that's what it's for. Like other babies are there. He's developing his learning skills, his speaking skills, things like that. Like, but that's me time. Like me taking my baby to daycare and coming back home and laying in the bed, that's, you know, that's my self-care for me, for sure. And he's enjoying that. Every time he has not cried since I've dropped him off to daycare, since day one. He loves going to school. He loves his teacher. Why would I take him away from that so he can stay home and terrorize the whole house with just his mom that's 30 years older than him? Like, that doesn't seem fun at all. So that's my self-care for sure.
I love me some car rides. I'm very intentional about my car rides. Like sometimes I just like to have complete silence and I'm just kind of like absorbing everything around me and using it as like a source, reminding myself that like things are progressing and just kind of sitting there, but like still reflecting on like the world moving around me and I'm moving within the world. And like for me, it's kind of like a peace moment for me. I've been journaling since forever. And then I recently started sharing it with the world, with the Gut Talk. It is a journal about emotional intelligence, looking at personal and professional development through the lens of emotional intelligence. I'm just now learning the real concept of bandwidth. Back then it didn't resonate, but now it does. To where it's like, okay, can I actually focus on this? Like, versus just saying yes, yes, yes to everything. Like, do I know the allotted time that's needed to focus on this, and do I actually have access to that time?
Never imagined such a thing. So beautiful.
I'm raising a rock star. I say that all the time. My child literally is able to try and do anything as long as it's safe. Being an educator to black boys, they default to one version of like black boyhood that they think is what they're supposed to do. I want Logan to be like, my mom said I could be an archer. She said I could be a famous swimmer. She said I could like start a clothing line. I want him to be able to pursue whatever he wants to pursue and know that like, your mom is here. She got your back. You can try it all and figure out what works for you. But I don't want him to ever feel like the first person to like not believe in him was his mom. I want him to be like, regardless of what's going on in the world, regardless of who doesn't believe in me, I know if I get my mom on the phone, she's like, you can do it. Whatever it is. I do want him to grow into a black man that is very secure in self. And I think that that starts a lot with like, what are the cues that he's getting from me as a mom? Even his relationships with women as he's growing up. I want him to be like, the first black woman that I ever knew showed me like how much love and joy and like peace that I could get from another black woman, so that he's carrying that as he grows into a black man.
I can't listen to what other people say. I'm sure it's people that's like, girl, your situation ghetto. But it's like, at the end of the day, Carson was made, he's loved, like, and that's the best thing that has ever happened to me. So I don't care what other people think. I always keep in the back of my mind to remember to show my child love, show him affection, like the stuff that I feel like I kind of lack from, you know, my close family. My family definitely show me that they love me. Tell him, that's what I want to say. Tell him that he's loved. Tell him I'm here for you. Let's talk about this. Talking with my kid about any issues, like being that person that he can come to, or even if he don't feel comfortable with coming to me with things, you know, further down the line, having those family members where he can, you know, talk to and things like that, and just let him know like he has that support system.
Having my son taught me to slow down in a way that he kind of taught me that harmony in a way. Of just like, it's not gonna look the same every day. It's not gonna be the same every day. I think I was always so hard on myself that I didn't even realize it until I had him. And I'm like, girl, you're so hard on yourself. You're so impatient with yourself, yet you're so patient with other people. How fair is that? It's unfair. I would say the main thing he has taught me is patience, but he has also taught me emotional regulation. I know that I've always been an emotional person. I pride myself in that, and I've realized now that it's a gift and it's not a curse. It's a weakness, but it's a weakness that is used for the good. Being a sensitive person, like, we feel things, we have feelings, but we can't allow our feelings to control us, and we have to get in control of our emotions and navigate them in healthy ways. And so being a mom and, you know, having Caleb and navigating his emotions, it's been testing for me, navigating my emotions in a healthy way so that I can not only show up the best way for him, but so he can know how to regulate his emotions.
There's so much that goes on in a day, but then like when you have your daughter looking up at you and they're trying to communicate to you what they need or how they're experiencing the world, and like I just like in that moment with her, it's definitely also like an element of peace for me too. Her being here, she is a well of joy and peace and love, and it's never ending. It's the greatest thing. It is the greatest thing.
In case nobody told you today, you're special.
I would say take it one day at a time, like literally. I feel like every day is different. Like, accept that and know that, like, you know, you're giving your best and hope that you're giving your best. And if you're not, or if you feel overwhelmed, or if you feel like your child might not be getting the best love from you, have other people, like, bring them into your circle as far as close family and friends that you love and trust. Utilize those people. I've been that person like my whole life where I did not ask people for help. I don't like asking people for help, but now I need you. Can you be here at this time? Can you watch my baby at that time? Like, obviously you have to know the people that's gonna be around your child, and if they're, good people and stuff like that, build that village up. Or even if it is just you and the dad, or if the dad is not around, use those people around you. Like, it's not the end of the world. Your situation is not the only situation in this world.
The self-love part, I cannot speak enough about self-love. I'm surprised it's the first time I'm mentioning it in this whole conversation, because I think that has saved me, forgiving myself and choosing to love myself more than anything. That if I'm loving myself the most, then I know everything that's extended to me is going to receive love. It ain't gonna always be a happy day, but at least make sure that you know where to go to get your peace, because that's what's gonna make you a capable human to make this baby feel safe.
I think the biggest thing about mental health is like, you can only show up with what you have. And if what you have is 1%, like, you are no good to anybody. You're not even good to yourself. And I think the way that we mother is a reflection of like the stress that we're carrying. I'm more prone to feel like I'm about to yell at my kid when I haven't dealt with my own stuff. I think it's just like finding moments of peace and joy for yourself. Whether that's like, I'm about to give me a cup of wine while my baby is in the bed. I'm about to watch me a show. I'm about to take me a bath. Taking care of a child is also a financial responsibility. So we can't always go to the spa. And I think that goes a lot into just being able to say no. I am the no queen. Like, I wish I could tattoo no on my forehead. No, I'm not going, I'm not doing it. Related to like on the airplane, when they say, okay, if it's an emergency and these masks drop out, you put yours on first, and then you put yours on your kids. Because, ma'am, if you pass out, now you and your kids are gonna die, because nobody's gonna have oxygen to be able to breathe. Like, that's how I need moms to think about their mental health. Put your mask on first, get what you need, fill yourself back up, and then worry about your kids. Knowing that, like, if you are all over the place, it's gonna reflect in your children. If you're together and you're at peace and you're calm, like, you're gonna have a more calm and peaceful, like, mothering experience overall.
My advice to mothers, I would say mamapreneurs, because literally that was my story. I became a mom and an entrepreneur at the same time. What I would say is, one, your life does not end. Like I said at the beginning, your life does not end when you have a child. We have free will, we have choice. Your choice can be either this is just a part of my journey, or this is it, this is where it ends. My advice to you would be that your journey doesn't have to end there, because you are more than just a mother. Because what happens when your kids are old enough and they leave you, then you're forced to go back to the foundation of you. That would also be my second advice, is to take care of you. Like, really prioritize yourself. If you don't prioritize yourself, you get lost in the journey. You get lost in yourself, because you're not really paying attention to yourself. You're not really catering to yourself. And so continue to put you first, because when you put you first, everything else is a trickle-down effect from that. And lastly, I would say is, you can do anything you put your mind to. Anything you have faith to believe, it can happen, and it will happen. So if you have a dream and you're a mom, that dream is still waiting for you. Please don't compare yourself to other moms. Please don't compare yourself to other entrepreneurs. Your journey is unique to you, and it's not gonna look like anyone else's. Really own your journey. That's what makes you unique. That's what makes your story unique. And the moment that you compare it to someone else or try to make it like someone else, you're literally forfeiting the blessing that's inside of you that ultimately is gonna bless the world. That would be my advice to my mothers and entrepreneurs out there.
Thank you. This was great.
We only cried 3 times.
Cause I was thinking of stuff in the car, I'm like, oh God, don't let me forget that. That was good.